Hey, going to try something new today. Today we are going to take a look at this debug card I've been working on for a homemade 8-bit computer, and I've written some software for this debug card to upload code to it, to manually step it, and such and such. It's just generally useful for seeing if the thing is working or not, since the computer currently has no input or output. So before we get started, I'll go ahead and do a quick demo of this. So I'm in the directory with the software here. I'll just run it really quick and give it a device to listen to. So I'm doing a UART over USB. It's kind of similar to an FTDI device, but in this case is using the MCP 2200. And I can just talk to it over that serial device on Linux. So now I'm connected, and the first thing I want to do is actually just load a program into address 1000 hex. And let's see, I am in a different directory than I'm normally in. Let's see if that works. Oh, no, I got the file name wrong. Let's find out where that is. Alright, reconnect again, and let's try this. I haven't implemented any kind of file completion or convenience on this little shell, so I have to manually type all this out. Alright, so we've loaded the program into that address. And I'm going to go ahead and reset the computer now. So what this did is it pulled the reset line down to reset the 6502 processor, and then it stepped the clock manually a bunch of times, I think 16 times in this case, which gives the processor some time to initialize itself. It also gets the reset circuit to pull the reset line back up high. So the processor should be in a good state now, and it should be at the address of our program because I have a ROM chip set up to go straight to address 1000 hex. So I'll just run the next command, and we can see it was a loadx operation, which I believe is correct for this program. And right now this is a little bit cumbersome, so today I want to see if I can make some improvements to this, because it's kind of difficult to, well, if you hit up, you know, there's no history or anything like that, and that would be convenient for reloading ROMs while I am developing for this system. So with that, let's dig into the code a little bit. This is a pretty simple program. Most of the code here is just in this main RS. I'm using the Rust programming language. Used to be a fan of C++, but that changed a few years ago when I discovered Rust. So anyway, this is definitely not the cleanest code, and it's all kind of in the same file here. But I'm not going to worry about that today. Today, I'm just going to be switching over to this rustyline library because it seems to provide a much better experience. It builds in history and all of those nice conveniences. So I've already added the dependency here. And that's another great thing about Rust is I just add that line to my cargo toml, and now I have rustyline. No fussing with paths or installing it to my system libraries or any of that. It just works. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I need to do is actually import the library here. And, oh, no underscore. And excuse me while I read the code here. This is my first time using this library. All right, let's take a look at what we currently have. We have some print lines and then a little REPL loop using standard I/O. I'm going to drag this over here so I can stop switching between those two. Cool. So let's create our read line. Okay. I'm going to skip the history file for now and get rid of this, so we shouldn't need it anymore. Doesn't matter that I'm using the same name there in my match statement, because in Rust you can pretty much overwrite variable names at will. Okay, so I think this is where my old code would go. I am curious to see if that has a new line on it. But anyway. Cool. Let's change that. Get rid of that for now. I'm not even sure I need this as a separate variable. I'm going to move this directly into the match arm here. And okay, non-exhaust pattern. I'm going to import this since I don't want to type in that rusty line everywhere. And I think I can just do an OR here for both end of file and interrupted. I don't really care. I just want to exit the program. So that should be good. And for every other error, cool. All right, let's try this. Okay, that seems to be working. And if I hit up arrow, okay, so just implement history then. Interesting. Okay, so I don't really care if it didn't exist before. I'm just going to swallow that. In Rust, you pretty much have to use a result. So in this case, I'm just passing the result of that operation into this drop method, which just says, goodbye, I don't care. And oh, interesting. They break out the loop so that they can call this save operation. Split this out to a quick constant here. And I don't really care about the result of that, so drop that. And then just switch these to break. And that should do it. Let's see if it works. Okay, up arrow's still not working. And there's no history file. Oh, I have to add the history entry. Okay, let's give that a shot here. Okay, it's working now. Sweet. Cool. Let's just add this file name to the gitignore really quick. Use rustyline for a better REPL experience. Cool. And that's that. All right. Hope you got something out of that. And catch you around.